Good morning, school leaders, teachers, and fellow schoolmates. I'm Adele from Class 4-3.
And I'm Kayan from Class 4-3.
Today, we'll be addressing a topic I'm sure all of us are familiar with. Let me give you a hint. Have you ever watched Netflix instead of starting on your homework? Or perhaps even waited till the night before to study for a test? Well, you've guessed it. Our topic today is on procrastination. Kayan, do you know what procrastination is?
Well, actually, I do. Procrastination is the act of delaying or putting off something important for no good reason. The keywords being no good reason. Sometimes we deliberately put off something because it isn't as important or urgent. That's just good time management.
Oh, but surely procrastinating isn't that bad, is it? I mean, we all do it sometimes.
Well, it depends. However, to fully understand the consequences of procrastination, we need to first understand the two possible scenarios. Procrastinating when there is a deadline and procrastinating when there isn't a deadline.
What's the difference?
There are tasks that comes with a deadline. This includes things like our chores, projects, or homework. In such cases, the effects are contained to the short term. This is so as the panic of not doing a task sets in, compelling us to take action. While procrastinating, one may feel anxious, stressed, or even guilty for not performing the tasks. And when we have multiple deadlines, it can be really overwhelming. Then, there are things without a fixed deadline. For example, it could be your lifelong dream of starting a business, or even trying a new sport. Since there is no fixed deadline, there isn't much pressure to take action, so we end up procrastinating. For short-term tasks, we may feel overwhelmed and guilty, but these negative feelings generally resolve once the task is completed or the deadline is over. For long-term or self-assigned tasks, it may lead to long-term effects such as unhappiness, regret, and or even a negative self-image. Why don't we watch a video for more information?
Studies of procrastinating university students have found participants were more likely to put off tasks they perceived as stressful or challenging, and the perception of how difficult a task is increases while you're putting it off. In one experiment, students were given reminders to study throughout the day. While they were studying, most reported that it wasn't so bad, but when they were procrastinating, they consistently rated the idea of studying as very stressful, making it difficult to get started. Because procrastination is motivated by our negative feelings, some individuals are more susceptible to it than others. People who have difficulty regulating their emotions and those who struggle with low self-esteem are much more likely to procrastinate, regardless of how good they are at time management. However, it's a common misconception that all procrastinators are lazy. In the body and brain, laziness is marked by low energy and general apathy. When you're feeling lazy, you're more likely to sit around doing nothing than distract yourself with unimportant tasks. In fact, many people procrastinate because they care too much. Procrastinators often report a high fear of failure, putting things off because they're afraid their work won't live up to their high standards. Whatever the reason for procrastination, the results are often the same. Frequent procrastinators are likely to suffer from anxiety and depression, ongoing feelings of shame, higher stress levels, and physical ailments associated with high stress. Worst of all, while procrastination hurts us in the long run, it does temporarily reduce our stress level, reinforcing it as a bodily response for coping with stressful tasks. So, how can we break the cycle of procrastination?
I think I understand better now. Well, personally, I think the reasons why we procrastinate include having distractions, the loss of motivation, or just wanting to avoid these negative thoughts of anxiety or like, I'm not good enough. For example, whenever I encounter an issue with my homework, I will try my best to attempt it again. However, if I fail to get the answer, my confidence and motivation will start to waver, and that will eventually lead to procrastination.
That sounds all too familiar. I think that's perfectly understandable. But is there no way to overcome this?
Yes, of course there is. To overcome procrastination, we can learn to regulate our emotions. When we identify the cause of our procrastination, we can address it so that we may reduce these negative feelings. This can happen through positive self-talk or reframing the situation. For example, if I was worried about going on stage for a performance, I could encourage myself by saying, "Hey, you've done this again. You've done this before. You can do it again." Another way is to break down the task into smaller and more manageable tasks. This will make the task less daunting and give us a sense of achievement when the task is completed, which in turn boosts our confidence. Also, if you tend to be easily distracted like me, you should eliminate the distraction by turning your phone to silent mode.
Hey Adele, that reminds me of the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. Have you heard of it before?
No, I haven't.
Well, the 5-second rule is when you have 5 seconds to act before your mind starts to overthink and procrastinate. So, if you have an impulse to act on your goal, you should physically move and take action within the next 5 seconds, or your brain will instantly kill the idea. The moment you feel yourself wanting to give in to distraction, use the rule again to refocus and take action.
Wow, that's so fascinating. Well, with that being said, I think most importantly, we should all practice self-compassion. It is normal not to succeed on the first try, so do be kind to yourself and try again. Let's overcome procrastination today. Thank you and have a great day ahead.